everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle and this is Danielle's Books. Thanks for stopping by. So this is going to be kind of a end of summer book haul. I think in my last book haul, which is a few videos back, I had maybe said in that one that was a cumulative haul from like the last couple months. But this one is actually stuff I've gotten in the month of August. It's probably the last haul you'll see for a little while, just because I kind of prioritized like maternity leave reads here. So I kind of have a lot of short books. I did an Amazon purchase. I had a little bit of Amazon credit left from my birthday that I used up on some extreme horror novellas. And then we also had some gift cards left from my birthday for Barnes & Noble, and then I also got a couple from Half Price Books. So it's not a huge haul, but it's an end of summer haul, and like I said, I had maternity leave in mind. So I have a lot of like shorter books, but still some new releases and everything. I think it's going to be a good time. So before we get started, I will have all of these books linked down below, so check them out if you're interested in them too. And then also down below will be my Bookstagram, Storygraph, Goodreads, podcast. The podcast is coming back on Monday. You should be seeing this video either on Saturday or Sunday. And then Monday will be a new episode of the podcast, which that's always linked down below. Zach and I are talking about all of our like summer reads, our hits and misses and everything. So it's a good time. And I recap a lot of books that I haven't talked about yet really on YouTube. So check it out. Go follow that wherever you listen to your podcast so you know when the new episode drops. So with all of that out of the way, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like book hauls, and also subscribe to this channel because I would love to have you. Let's start with the Barnes & Noble / Half Price Books stack. Honestly, this is pretty much a horror book haul. I have like I think it's all horror books. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, let's start with Barnes & Noble. I have some wild cards in here. Some I'm not too sure about, but I had my sight on short books, like I said. So first up, I have Hammers on Bone by Cassandra Khaw. I really liked this cover. And this one is one that's a wild card for me because I read... oh my God, what was it? I'll have to like put the title on the screen or something. There was one book that I read by her that I actually like kind of hated, like a lot. And I can't think of the title right now. Nothing But Black and Teeth. That's what it is. I hated that book, but I wanted to give her another chance. This one looked interesting. It looks like we're following a private investigator with a distasteful job from an unlikely client. He's been hired by a 10-year-old to kill the kid's stepdad, Mackenzie. The man in question is abusive, abrasive, and abominable. He's also a monster, which makes Persons, who's the guy we're following, the perfect thing to hunt him. Over the course of his ancient existence, he's hunted gods and demons and broken them in his teeth. And then there's a bunch more. It looks like this is kind of horror with maybe some like fantastical elements to it. I'm willing to give it a shot. I think it's like under 100 pages, so it fit the criteria, and I'm excited to give it a try. So there you have Hammers on Bone by Cassandra Khaw. Next up, one that I'm really excited about. I thought that a short story collection or, a collection of novellas was something that could be a good idea as well, because I can just read a quick story, and then if I need to go, take care of baby, I have a nice place to stop and everything. And so I got Spin a Black Yarn by Josh Malerman. This is a new one by Josh Malerman, and I've heard pretty much no one talk about it at all. So I'm interested to see. I love the cover too because all the text is like raised and it's yarn. So it's pretty cool. This one says 5 harrowing novellas of horror and speculative fiction from the author of Bird Box. So yeah, this is a set of 5 different novellas, and I'm really intrigued to give them a go. I've read a few things from Josh Malerman, and I've liked what I've read. I read Daphne last year and I really enjoyed that one. And then I also read, there's something else that I read by him, but I can't think of it right now. But anyway, I'm really excited about this, and I'll link it down below if you're a Josh Malerman fan, because maybe you didn't even know he had a new release out. All right, next up, this is another wild card. This is 19 Claws and a Black Bird by Augustina Bazterrica. This is the author of Tender is the Flesh. First of all, this cover is amazing. You can't really even see the shine that well, but this is another collection of stories, and I can see if there's a blurb inside, but I'm not totally sure. Not really. So, ooh, I love the oh my god, so cute. Honestly, this one I haven't heard great reviews about, but like I said, I had short books in mind, and then this is a collection of stories, so it kind of fit the bill in a couple of different ways, and so I'm really excited to give this a try. I actually didn't read Tender is the Flesh, so I have nothing else to really base this author on. So I'm going into it pretty blind, and hopefully we'll have a winner. So there you have 19 Claws and a Black Bird. Next up, we have another kind of wild card pick, I suppose, and that is Thorn, Hedge by T. Kingfisher. I know that T. Kingfisher is a really popular author, especially on BookTube. I have not read anything by T. Kingfisher, and I'm pretty sure this is a horror fantasy hybrid. This one says, there's a princess trapped in a tower. This isn't her story. It says, meet Toadling. On the day of her birth, she was stolen from her family by the fairies, but she grew up safe and loved in the warm waters of fairyland. Once an adult, though, the Fae ask a favor of Toadling, return to the human world, and offer a blessing of protection to a newborn child. Simple, right? But nothing with fairies is ever simple. Centuries later, a knight approaches a towering wall of brambles where the thorns are as thick as your arm and as sharp as swords. He's heard there's a curse here that needs breaking, but it's a curse Toadling will do anything to uphold. Also, look at that inside cover too. That's pretty stunning as well. So yeah, this one is a horror fantasy hybrid. Like I said, I love the cover. I love the color of it and everything. It's another short book. So again, it fit the bill, and I'm really excited to give this a try. So there you have Thorn, Hedge by T. Kingfisher. The next one I got is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. This is one that is also new. This is a short horror book. Let's see how long this one is. Yeah, it's just over 200 pages, so not too bad. 230 pages. Let me read you the blurb on this one. It's pretty short. Something is wrong in Neverton, Montana, and that something isn't me. Welcome to a God-fearing community with a heart of gold. Nuzzled high up in the mountains is Camp Damascus, the self-proclaimed most effective gay conversion camp in the country. Here, a life free from sin awaits, but the seeker behind that success is anything but holy. So I'm really, really intrigued with this one. Like I said, it's a short horror book, and I haven't heard too much about this. I think what I've heard is actually negative reviews, which is kind of a bummer, but I really enjoyed the cover, and yeah, I've had my eye on it, so I got it. So there you have Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. This is one of the ones I got from Half Price Books, and then the other one I got from Half Price Books is Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. This is a set of stories. This is a young adult graphic novel, horror. First of all, the cover's amazing. This was in perfect condition on the shelf, and it was really cheap, so I went for it, and I really liked the art style in it. Let's see if I can kind of flip through a little bit. So yeah, this is a collection of stories, and I'm really excited about this. This feels like the perfect spooky season fall read, and so I was like, why not? So that's it for Barnes & Noble and Half Price Books. And then I have a little extreme horror haul from Amazon. And these ones are all pretty short, so I'm probably not going to be able to give much of a synopsis for these books, but I will see what I can do. This one is Petrified Women by Jeremy Ray. This one I've heard a lot about on BookTube, and This one, the blurb says, some pranks go too far. This one could be deadly. That's it for the blurb. This is like super short. It's also like a tiny book. Like here's like the next one. It's like real small. But anyway, I've heard really good reviews for this one. And so I was excited to check it out. It looks like it's maybe just under 100 pages. Yeah, it's like 90 pages. So this should be pretty quick to get through. And so I'm excited to give it a go. So there you have Petrified Women by Jeremy Ray. Next up is a book I've actually read, and that is Grandpy by Patrick C. Harrison III. I also got 100% Match, but that is, I honestly should have grabbed it, but I'm like not going to go get it right now. And I really, really enjoyed both of these. I talked more about them on that podcast episode that I just referenced coming out on Monday, but I gave both of these 5 stars. I definitely want to read more from PC3, and I'll read you the little blurb on the back of this one. It says, Grandpappy is on hospice. Charles is going mad. Vile happenings are abound. You, reader, are not prepared. This is your lesson in depravity. So this one, we're basically following Charles, and he is tasked to take after his grandpa. His grandpa is on hospice, like you saw. They call him Grandpappy, because Charles's parents, who are usually the ones who watch him, are going on a trip. So they're like, can you watch your grandpa? And Charles was like, yeah, that's fine. He probably doesn't do much because he's like on hospice. So he's like basically dying. And then it's not quite what is the case. You basically see Charles, like it says, is going mad. You see his descent into madness, and it was crazy. There's like a lot that happens in like a short amount of time in this book, and I really enjoyed it. Grandpappy is like one heck of a guy, let me tell you. So I really recommend it though. But look up the triggers, and also both of these and 100% Match are more of like gross extreme horror. So if that's not your thing, then I maybe wouldn't recommend these. But I actually liked 100% Match better. You're basically following, I'll put the cover somewhere on here, like a 30-year-old man who is looking for his perfect match, but he's kind of a gross guy. He's not like totally like everyone's type. And what I liked about that book is you actually like, it's very like fact-based in the book. Like the author will be like, let me think of an example. This might not be one that's in the book, but it'll be like 52% of women prefer men who are bald, while 48% prefer a man with like more hair. That's like an example of a fact. It's said better than what I just said, but he kind of sprinkles in facts like that, which is kind of interesting. It makes it like interesting to read, and that one is even shorter than this one. That one I think is like just under 100 pages, and like I said, I liked that one better, so I really recommend that one. But like I said, both of these two are definitely gross extreme horror, so stay on the lookout for that. Next up, I'm going to talk about 2 together because they're by the same author, and that is Judith Sonnet. So we have Jump Scare, and we have No One Rides for Free. Haven't heard anything about this one. It's really short. Have heard a lot of great things about this one, and I have not read anything by Judith Sonnet, but every time I follow her, we follow each other on Instagram. Every time she releases a book, I'm very, very interested in what she has to offer, and so I was like, you know what, it's time to get some. And then let me read you the blurb. There's like little short blurbs on the back of them. So for Jump Scare, it says, a group of children decide to go exploring at the end of a long and sweaty summer. They venture into the woods and find themselves walking into an old and abandoned house, a house they have been warned to stay clear of. Now, years later, they are adults, and they're still being haunted by the force inside that house. So it looks like we have a haunted house story, and I'm definitely intrigued by that. So there's Jump Scare, and then this one, like I said, is the one I've heard amazing reviews for. It says, Jody was driving her children to college when the man got in the car. Uninvited, unwanted, and unhinged. The man has no name, but he does have a gun, a knife, and a bag of toys. What starts as a forced ride into the desert escalates into a disturbing series of crimes and assaults. Jody and her children will soon pray for death. To avoid dying of shock, keep repeating, it's only a book, it's only a book, it's only a book. So there are 2 Judith Sonnet books that I also got and plan to read in the next few months on maternity leave. And then we have just 2 books left. We have It's Me, Charlie by C.M. Goodroz? I'm not sure. I think this one is like 60 pages long, like really short. Yeah, it is. And this one I've heard is about like, honestly, the blurb on the back is really long, but I'll read it for you anyway. I know everything about her. I've been her book bestie for over a year now. I've read every book she ever published. The books that tell me every fantasy she has, the books that tell me exactly what she wants. She doesn't know who I am behind the screen, but I don't think she'll care much once I show her that I am the perfect man for her. Women have rejected me in the past, but I've studied Jessie so much, there's no way I could get it wrong this time. What happens when the person you thought was just an online friend turns out to be an obsessive monster? Honestly, I'm going to stop right there because that's all I need to know. Like I said, this is 60 pages long, and I've heard mixed reviews for this book. I've heard that it's actually like very, very scary, especially if you're in like the bookish space, which I am. So I don't know. I just really wanted to check it out, and I will be. So there you have It's Me, Charlie. Last up, I know actually nothing about this one. And this is Zola by D.E. McCluskey. Honestly, this is like a huge book, like size-wise. But let's see, how many pages is this one? This one looks like it's like just over 120 pages. Like I said, I know nothing about this book, but I'll read you like the little blurb on the back. It says, never underestimate a boy's love for his mother and for cheese. From the dark mind of McCluskey, author of Crack, I don't know anything about that one, comes a twisted, cheesy novel, Zola. Gordon's name was a joke, given to him by an abusive father to mock his wife's love of cheese. It was just another in a long line of cruel jokes. Andrea Zola is a doting wife and a protective mother. However, when she uncovers a truth, one so shocking that it rocks her world to its very foundations, one of these things change drastically. If you are a lover of cheese and indeed of decency, then this extreme horror novella may contain triggers. You have been warned. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a try and see what it's all about. That concludes my haul. So let's see if I can grab all of these books. Probably not, but we're going to give it a try. Let me know some books that you're planning to read in September. Let me know some books, like what was the last book that you hauled? And with that, and my 2 stacks of books here, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Check out all the links down below. Bookstagram, Goodreads, Stories, the podcast, all of that good stuff. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!